There's an old saying that black people have always known white people better than we even know ourselves. And I'm going to prove to you why this is true in this video. Number one, the reason my words have always triggered white America is because I've done what most white folks are too terrified to do. I simply put the myth down. I walked away from the racial lies and the narcissistic narratives we were fed from birth. I stopped buying into the delusion that our comfort is the only reality that matters. I'm not talking to you from inside the white bubble anymore. I'm just talking from the outside. You see, there are two Americas. One is built on the hard truth, and the other is built on a white fairy tale. Black people have the clarity they have because they never bought into the myth of white supremacy. They knew it was a hustle from day one. But white America made a deal with that myth. We traded our soul and our connection to reality for a sense of superiority that doesn't even exist. And that's the God's truth. That's why white folks have zero credibility when you talk about race. We can't have credibility when you're living a lie, can you? And in 2026, we're seeing the receipts for that truth. Last month, 8 million people, mostly white folks, marched for No King's Day. They were out there screaming about fascism, affordability, and the loss of democracy under Trump's regime, like the house that just caught on fire this morning. But look at who's not in those streets. Black people largely set this one out. Why, you might ask? It's because black people tried to warn white people for years. They pointed at Trump and said, this is where this ends. They sounded the alarm on the racism, the corruption, and the rot. But white people didn't listen. We went ahead and supported this racist regime in massive numbers anyway, because we were too blinded by our own greed and our own fucking arrogance to care about who got crushed as long as we felt superior. Yes, we saw a great white, morally bankrupt narcissist that mirrored our white narcissism perfectly. Trump, the white man's racist messiah. See, white supremacy is a moral lobotomy. It has turned white America into toxic, delusional people. White narcissism spiritually stunts the person holding on to it. Fact. I know I was a racist. And we need to be clear. White supremacy isn't just the guys in the hoods or the extremists in the news. It's the everyday culture of white America. It's maintained by the average white person who either perpetrates it, denies it, or enables it through a cold, calculated apathy. It's all that silence that gives it permission to breathe. We thought we were the owners of the machine, but we were just the next ones on the menu. Now that the smoke is finally reaching our front doors, we're acting shocked. But black people aren't shocked. They've been looking at us from the outside for centuries, seeing the truth of our chaos while we were busy getting high on our myths. We spend all day, every day, spewing 1,000 false narratives and lies about race, indoctrinating ourselves with a belief system that keeps us trapped in this myth. No, black people aren't coming to save us this time. They're standing back, watching white people fuck around and find out what happens when you build a world on a fucking lie. That's why, despite the struggle, if you ask a black person if they would ever want to trade places and be white, the answer is almost always a resounding no. They'd rather keep their soul and their clarity than inherit our racist soul-crushing delusion. Because at the end of the day, black people have always known white people better than we have ever dared to know ourselves. They've always understood that white supremacy was never just about power. It was a form of enslavement for the white man. And ultimately, it is our destruction. So white America, I'm going to leave you with this. James Baldwin told us, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's While I appreciate all the white activists and all your work fighting ICE and fighting Trump and fighting this white supremacist regime, too often you guys lose sight of what the fuck the problem is. The problem is our white supremacist culture, white people. We are in this mess because the white man and the white woman love white supremacy. That's the only reason that we are all suffering. That's why our liberties are going. That's why innocent people are dying in the street, including white people. It's because of the white man's fucked up love of white supremacy. And that is the message that not enough white activists talk about. Go to the fucking root. What is the fucking root of the problem? White people and their white supremacist bullshit. That's how we got in this fucking mess. Call it what it is. White supremacy and white people. That is why we're under a white supremacist regime. White people are too goddamn racist. And if they're not perpetrating racism, they're fucking denying it or being silent about it. Apathy. Gaslighting. All fucking day, every goddamn day. Let's call it what it is. Until white people fix their fucking bullshit, their racist ass. You know, I'll never forget the day a white buddy of mine said black people don't deserve equality because they could never get enough. And that's true. White people are actually scared of equality. That's just how racist we are as a people. And it's not just that one person. White culture in general. Probably I would say most white people, when they hear the word equality, they fear that white people will be oppressed because brown, black, and indigenous people might actually get what's fair and just. That's just how racist we are. And we're so obsessed with the idea of not having equality in America for black, brown, and indigenous people that we don't have health care, that we don't have economic equality. We don't have reasonable gun laws. Our liberties are being stripped because we have a fascist, racist, white supremacist regime in office because we are so scared of equality. We're so scared that black and brown folks might become the majority one day. That we had a black president, and now we've got to have a white supremacist president. That's how scared we are of equality. That's how racist we are as a people. Go to the fucking root. The root of America's problems. The root of the white man and the white woman, their problems, and America and the world. If you think about it, colonialization, white supremacy, the mentality of white people today, not just yesterday, today, right now, the denial racially, the silence, the apathy, the continuous gaslighting, all that fucking shit, that's ruined us. It's ruined white people, and it's ruining our nation. And whose fault is it? White people's fault. Their inability to fucking fix their goddamn problem. Until we fix white supremacy, everything we try will fail. It's dysfunctional and it's toxic, and Trump and this regime is the perfect proof of all that shit. How we got in this fucking mess? White people's bullshit. White people's racist fucking bullshit. Period. I showed a white girl some of my videos today where I asked white America to do better racially. After watching a couple of my videos, I said, do you have any questions or thoughts? And she said, yeah. Do you hate white America? Do you hate white people? And I thought, quite the contrary. I do this work because I love white people. I love my people. Also, I love all people. I don't do this just to help black and brown folks, indigenous people. I do this to help my own people. Because what she doesn't understand is white supremacy is an enslavement for the white man as much as it is for anybody else. In a different way, it helps us economically, but it destroys us spiritually, robs us of dignity, humanity, and credibility. I'm trying to help my own people. I don't hate white people. I do this work partly because I care about white people, because hate always turns inward. This system, culture of white narcissism that we've embraced as a society is destroying the white community all over the world. And it always has. Like I said before, you can choose your soul or you can choose a lie, but you can't have both. So I'm on vacation. I'm staying at a family member's house. We're all watching the Olympics. I'm sick, by the way, but I'm on the couch trying to relax. These Trump-supporting family members are teary-eyed as they're singing the national anthem during the Olympics. You know, patriotic nationalist, and I'm getting a little uncomfortable, but it's okay. And then at the end, when they said liberty and justice for all, I said for white people, not for all white people. And that's all I said. And of course, that triggered the female, and she started lecturing me and going on and on and on, deflecting, denying, distorting, talking over me, just being a bully, being hateful. And then she said something that they usually say, some kind of crazy shit to justify white supremacy, because that's what white people do, right? She said, we're talking about racial equality and racial justice for black folks. She said, well, I don't think that they should get racial justice because they can never get enough. They'll always want too much. They'll always want more and more and more. I said, oh, really? That's interesting. So before we had this racial conversation, I had already called my friend who's black, and I asked him permission if I could call him if I needed him to let her know, or let this family people know, that a black person knows about their racism. You mind if I call you if I need to? He's like, I'm all in. Call me. I don't care. Yeah, let's do it. So when she said that racist shit, I called my black friend. And I put him on speakerphone, and I said, so she just said that black people could never, ever, ever get enough racial equality, therefore they don't deserve it, because they always want too much. That woman, who I've known for many years, transformed into a Karen. She was triggered. It was, I swear to God, like a werewolf coming out. A grown woman literally had a complete insane breakdown. She started screaming uncontrollably, cussing me, this supposed Christian woman, in front of her children, and everybody in my family is saying the F word. Get the fuck out of my house! Screaming and jumping in a complete temper tantrum. So, so anyhow, she grabs my shit in this fit of rage as she cries victim. He's calling me a racist. I'm not going to be humiliated in front of black people. I'm not a racist. She grabs all my shit and just throws it in the fucking yard, scaring everybody in the house. I even thought she was going to assault me at one point. She didn't, thank God, because I'd have her arrested, but she did manage to kick me out of the house, throw all my shit out in the grass. So, I got a hotel. I lost another family member. But you know what? I'll just add it to the fucking list of family members, friends, and coworkers that I've lost. Would I do it again? Hell fucking yes. Because at least she knows it made her question her morality racially, and it made her question the lies that she's living. And it forced her to fucking think about something that she didn't want to fucking think about. And the reason she got triggered is because for the first time in her life, she could not hide her racism from black people. That's why she got triggered. She had to face her own goddamn immorality and the own lies that she's living. It may not change her. I don't know if it will or not. But it'll let her know that racism is unacceptable. And that's what we have to do, folks. Hold white people accountable for their fucking racism. Now, you might want to time it right so you don't get kicked out of somebody's house or get assaulted. But hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? But anyhow, hold each other accountable, folks. That's what we have to do.